Okay, I'm making this video for the kids. Because parents are going to find this hard to talk about with their kids. And I'm sorry they're going to find it hard to talk about with their kids. But I'm making it because of what just happened at the Robb School in Texas. Children, listen carefully. Very carefully. If an active shooter comes to your school, do not run out of your classroom because you do not know where the active shooter is. Unless the door to outside is right next to your classroom door and you know for sure the shooter is not in your building, or is in your building, I mean. If you know for sure that shooter is inside your building and the door to go outside is right next to your classroom door, then yes, run out the door. But if it is not, then do not run out, because you do not know where that shooter is. And running out to go to an exterior door, that shooter might be right where you've got to run to. So stay in your class. Lock the door. Shut the door and lock it. Now, be sure, be guaranteed, this is not going to necessarily be able to stop that shooter, but it will slow down the shooter. Put your phone on silent. Do not put it on vibrate. You can hear that. I can hear that across the room if the room is silent enough. And if your classmates are hiding and you are hiding, it is going to be silent enough. You are small. More than likely, smaller than the shooter. So climb into a small place. For children small enough, say 11, 13 or lower, kids who are about 5 foot tall, the underneath of a bathroom sink that has a cabinet in it, a classroom cabinet, is a great place to crawl into. If you have to pull something out of that cabinet to crawl into it, do not pull it out and just lay it on the floor in front of the cabinet. Pull it out and push it as far away from the cabinet as you can in all different directions so the shooter cannot tell where that came from. That way it don't lead to you. Crawl in the cabinet. Close the door. Keep it closed. Turn the light down on your phone so that if it does have a message come across, the light will not shine through around the sides of the cabinet if your room is dark enough, and the light will shine through. Make it so they can't see that light. Make it so they can't hear that phone. But try to keep it just right enough for you to read any messages from your parents. You stay in that hiding spot. You stay as quiet as possible. Don't make a sound. Don't move. Don't wiggle. And you sit there and be quiet. If you hear somebody say, if you need help, holler out. Don't do it. Unless you know that shooter has been arrested or killed, don't do it. Just stay quiet. Right where you are. And cram into the smallest place possible that is hidden from view. And stay there. And don't move. Wait until your mother or your father, and this goes to the mothers and fathers, and you children tell your mothers and fathers, that if that ever happens at your school, that once the shooter is caught or dead, that your parents are to message you and tell you it is safe to come out. Don't come out and don't make a noise until you know for sure the shooter is arrested or dead. You stay right where you are. If possible, if the shooter is not near your class, but say clear across the school, but you can still hear the bullets, take a chair, lock your classroom door, take a chair, a desk, a hard toy, anything really hard, and break out a school window. If you cannot open them to climb out, break them out. And climb out that window and take off running as far away from the school as you possibly can go. Preferably towards a police car. But take off running and get everybody out that you can get out through that broken window. If these two options are not available to you, if there's a wounded person near you, this might sound horrible, but allow them to bleed on you. That way, if the gunman comes back, you can fake dead. But because your chest will move, either lay a dead body on top of you, and I hate to say this, but it might save your life. If there's a dead child near you, lay their body on top of you so the shooter cannot see you breathing. If there's a large stuffed animal, lay it across you so the shooter cannot see you breathing. Do not put a piece of cardboard on you, because if you do that, when you breathe in, the cardboard will rise. The only way you want to put something solid on your chest is if it's not touching your chest. So when you breathe in, it does not move. And you play dead for as long as it takes you to play dead. Until that shooter is gone. That has already saved a couple children. It just might save you. It's not a guaranteed save. But it's a 50% chance or better save at this moment. So play dead. Don't move a muscle. Don't do anything. And if you don't have something to put over your body, hold your breath or make your breath so shallow that you cannot see your chest move. You cannot see your stomach move. You can't see your back move if you're laying on your stomach. Make it so nothing moves when you breathe. And as I said, if you hear an officer say, if you need help, yell help. Don't do it. Unless you know for a fact the shooter has been arrested or killed. You're going to want to scream. You're going to want to run when you see the shooter shooting other people. You're going to have to avoid that. You're going to have to train yourself not to do that. Because if you do that, you will be the next one shot. So if you're playing dead, I don't care how many people the shooter shoots. You lay there and you play dead until the shooter is arrested or dead himself. If you're hiding in a cabinet, no matter what's going on outside that cabinet, you keep your mouth shut. You do not talk on the phone. You can text. As long as you don't have the keys making a noise, you can text your mom and your dad. Do not have your ringer on. Do not have the vibrate on. Neither one of those should be on at all. Keep them shut off. Turn down the brightness of your phone. Keep it turned down as low as you can where you can still see your texts. I don't care if you can just barely see your text, but turn it down. Let me see if I can give you an idea of how you want it. Now, if you can still see your text at that brightness on your phone, go down as low as you can to where you can still see the text on your phone. But it will eliminate a lot of the light that's coming out of your phone into your hiding spot that the shooter could possibly see. Keep it hidden. And bringing your light down low like this will make it easier. Say this is your phone. It'll make it easier for you to hide your phone like this so that it's tucked in your hand like this. So the light comes out even less and you can read your phone like this. And that'll make it so less light comes out. So it's less likely, because in a cabinet the door does not shut completely. And if your classroom is dark and you have your phone out, the light's going all through the cabinet you're in and it's seeping out the cracks of the door. And the shooter will be able to see that. So you want to do whatever you can to make it so he can't see that. If you've got a shirt or a coat or whatever, if you got to take your shirt off to do it, hide behind like this with your phone so that the light doesn't come out. But as I said, turn the light down on your phone. Shut the volume and the vibrate off on your phone. And parents, teach your children how to do this. If you're going to give your child a phone, a gift for Christmas or their birthday or whatever, teach your children how to turn off the volume, the vibration, and turn down the brightness of their phone. Those are the three most important things in today's society. You need to teach your child on that phone. Those are the three things they should do before they even try to text you, call the police, or anything else. They should do those three first. That way they're better kept concealed. If they're going to call 911, when they call, all they need to do is say active shooter and name the school and nothing else. And that's only if they know they're safe to do it. Not if the shooter's anywhere near. They are to go active shooter. Robb Elementary School. Leave the phone on and put it down. Turn the volume down on it so if the operator says something, it can't be heard unless you put it up to your ear. You don't want it to be heard. Put it under your shirt or your jacket so the light doesn't come out on it. Make sure it doesn't hang up. But you say active shooter and you name the school. If the operator hangs up, which you'd be able to know, it'll say end call. If the operator hangs up, you then text your parents. Do not call your parents. They're going to be frantic. They're going to be scared. And that's another function on the phone your parents should teach you, is how to make it so when you're typing a text, the phone is silent. You want it completely silent. You text your parents. You let them know that you're all right and where you are. Exactly where you are. Because they can then tell the police officer where you are, what classroom you're in, what cabinet you're in, what you're hiding under, how you're hiding. And then the officer, when things are safe, can come in and get you. And every 10 minutes or so, you text your parents. Say, simple, I'm still here. I'm okay. And that's it. And then 10 minutes more, I'm still here. I'm okay. If you've moved, you say, move to, and you put where you moved to if you've had to move for some reason. But if there's absolutely no reason to move, if that shooter has not come anywhere close to finding you, stay exactly where you're at. Because if he didn't find you when you were in that class, he's not going to find you. More than likely, he won't find you because he's not looking in that place. So stay where you're at. Don't be a looky-loo. Don't try to look around to see where the shooter is. It doesn't matter where he is. If you can't see him, he can't see you. Stay there. Stay hidden. Stay tucked away. Don't move. Don't talk. I don't care if you get the biggest Charlie horse in your leg in your whole life. Don't move. Don't make a sound. Grab that Charlie horse and squeeze it if you have to. But don't move. Don't make a sound. Don't answer any calls out from anybody until you know that the shooter has been arrested or killed. Be sure that you keep an eye on your phone for texts from your parents. That way, your parents can warn you when the shooter has been arrested or killed. And parents, don't give your child that information until you have absolute confirmation that the shooter is arrested or killed. If it's just a rumor going around through the parents, don't believe it. Wait. Wait until you actually see that shooter, or you actually talk to an officer who knows. Then you text your children and you tell them the shooter is arrested or the shooter is dead. Come out. And that's when your child can come out. The first responders for the children, yes, are going to be the officers. But they're also going to be your parents who know your children's phone number and who can let your children know when they are absolutely, positively safe to come out of their hiding place. And you children are going to be your parents' first responders. By allowing your parents every 10 minutes or so to know you are safe where you are. To keep them from panicking and doing something they shouldn't that could put them in danger. So like I said, if the shooter isn't near your class, lock your classroom. If you can, break out the window in your class. Use anything hard and anything easily picked up. Do not use your hands. You might cut yourself up and you might cut yourself in a critical place that'll make you bleed to death. So pick up something hard. Every teacher in every classroom, and I'm going to say this to all you teachers, you should have a very heavy, hard paperweight on your desk in every classroom. If nothing, 2 or 3 of them. Something a child can easily throw through a window. I don't care if it's an old cannonball. Something the child can easily pick up and throw through a window to break that window to be able to climb out. Once they break that window, help them to lay a coat. If they have to take their pants off and lay it across the bottom of the window so they don't get cut up. And then climb out of that window. That way they're safe. It's like this. If the windowsill is here, if you break the window out, there might be little pieces of glass you can't see sticking up like this. You crawl across that, you're going to get cut up. So what you do is you lay a coat or something else across it. That way when you crawl across it, it's less likely the glass is going to go through that coat. And you are going to be safe from whatever it is. Your pants, blue jean pants are good for that. If you got the thin nylon pants, then you take 2 or 3 pairs of pants from the kids and put it on there. If you got a book, lay it on there. Anything to cover up that seal right there. You can take a book, say this is a book right here. You can take a book and lay it down on the seal like this and then climb over the book. That, or you open up the book so it's You know how when you open the pages like this, and you lay it across the seal like that, so that it lays across the window like that. You see how I got one side over here and one side over there? That way, the center of the book holds the book so it's less likely to slide off the window seal. Okay? So you lay the book like that. Any book you can find. Any book. The thicker the better. You lay it across the window seal like that. So that it looks like that on the window seal. That way, this part here kept on the window seal, the ridge of where the glass was, and makes it so it doesn't move, and several kids can crawl out without the danger of the glass hitting you or cutting you. You take your coat. If you have to, fold it in half. Lay it over the window like this, so that you can climb across it without getting cut. Take anything hard and heavy. If you got big paint things, if it's hard enough, throw it. If your teacher's got a cane, use it. Anything hard and heavy. A brush. Use that to break the window if it'll work. Your desk chair. A paperweight. Anything hard and heavy that you can hit that window with to break it, use it. But not if the shooting seems to be close to you. Because the shooter will hear you break that window and come to your class. And he may be able to shoot that door open before you can get that window broke and climb out of it. If he is too close, you get yourself tucked away where he can't see you. Let him think the classroom is empty. You hide in little places where he can't see you. You hide in little places that even if he thinks your class is empty, he thinks he wants to come in there anyways, and he shoots open that door, that if he comes in that door, he's not going to see you. You want him to stop from being able to see you. So you kids, stay safe. And if anything like this happens to you, it's going to be massively scary. I do mean it is going to be the scariest thing you will ever deal with. But if you want to survive it, then you're going to have to be smart about it. Knowing when to break a window. When to approach your classroom door to lock it. When to tuck into a cabinet and hide. When to run out your door to the nearest exit, which you can clearly see from your classroom door, and there is no other hallway in the distance between you and that door. Because if you've got a hallway that's like this, and your classroom door is here, and the outside door is here, you can see that outside door, but you can't see this hallway over here. And that shooter might be in that hallway over here. So as you run towards the door, that shooter can see you, and he might shoot you. So don't go that way. The only time you should go that way is if you've got the hallway here, your classroom door here, the outside door here, and there's no chance the shooter can be between you and that outside door, and you can't see him down the hall here. Then you take your butt, and if you notice, the next hallway from here to here is quite a ways. If you can't see him from here to here, and the outside door is here, you take off like you're a frog that's being chased by a snake. And you take off out that door. And you start running as straight as you can, or turn to the right away from where the shooter can't see out that door, and run as far and as fast as you can to where either there's a police car, another building, or an agreed upon meeting place for your school. But it should be a meeting place that the shooter cannot see from your school. So be safe, children. And I pray and I hope you'll never need this. And I pray and I hope that the government will get off their butts and start caring enough about you to pass common sense gun laws. But if they don't, you need to know this. Be safe.